I know who I am and whose I am from the line of Abraham. Hi guys, like I have you guys. I didn't know I got these many stories about African homes. Like literally, African homes are full of fun, and I am continually going to be sharing with you those of my stories here and there about growing up in African homes. So today I felt like today I could describe to you because I'm literally describing everything else around me, the parents, the home, the neighbors, everything, and then I'm forgetting me. If growing up in an African home was a movie, I would be maybe like in this movie in the story I'm telling, I would be the lead character. Is it the main character? So it I feel it's unfair to describe everything else around me and not describe myself as a little kid. So I'm like, why not describe myself as a little kid in this movie as African home. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Erina TL, and I do not take your support or for granted at all. Never do I take it for granted. Never in life. The very first thing you will ask all my siblings, if asked about me, my childhood, what I was like as a baby, they will tell you I was a cry one. Not as a baby, typically baby, like baby, but as a kid growing up, I was a cry baby. And I tell you, crying in African homes is highly punishable. As in, why are you crying? For me, whether you've beaten me or you've just said something bad or you're accusing me falsely, whatever, or you just point at me, like I would literally cry at everything. So most cases we used not to stay with our mom. She would come over the weekend, but she would take time to ask the maid or the auntie, whatever person you will be with, what did this one do throughout the week? What did, and then you're punished for this one was told to clean utensils and he refused. This one moved out of our compound because when we were in town, we're not so much allowed to go far, like moving away far from home. Like we would only play with our immediate neighbors. Yeah, so this one moved far, went to play at the other village. That was highly punishable. In town, you don't do that in town, you do that in the village. Yeah, so this one went to watch the neighbors TV. You guys, I think I should tell you about neighbors TV. That story also. So you punished according to what you've done. So me, my main issue was crying. There is a time of course, most weeks I didn't have anything. That this one refused to wash her uniform, this one refused to do this, to mop the house, clean the compound. No, I always did my part, but my one main issue was crying. So they would report this one cried. There's a time my sister, my little sister, you imagine, my little sister used to bully me. Like, she was stronger than I, so she used to take a lot of my own things. She would lose. We were in the same class because I took long to start school. I used to fall sick a lot. Yeah, so she would lose her, are they called stockings or sockings? You guys, I failed to differentiate those two. People have helped me several times, but I think I'm just getting stubborn. So she would lose hers, stockings or stockings. A stocks is a Twambala uniform, right? So she would lose hers and take mine, literally take mine. And I know these are mine because she used to be a little bigger than I, yeah, and heavier than I. So mine were lit small and hers used to, is it kureguka, right? To enlarge. So she would take mine. And then I was crying there's a time I cried for my stockings. I remember when in pre-primary, I cried for my stockings. Stockings. So, and the neighbor across, rest in peace, Mr. Irumba, he was the headmaster of Mobende Parents School. That guy groomed us like crazy. He was our immediate neighbor, but like a parent. So he was across the road. He had someone cry because he's a parent. Like, he used to treat, he knew, of course, our parents used not to stay there. So anything happening in our home, at our home, he would pass by, greet us, say hello to us. So there is a time I cried that he was forced to come from his home to come and check what is happening to me. So he reached and found that it was a stockings issue. And Mr. Ruba was the very person who used to stand at the gate. You don't enter the school without stockings. So he told me, you better sort this out. So he sorted it. These big ones are for this one. Because one was big, one was small. It seems my sister had lost hers and taken mine. So it's like these small ones are hers and these ones are yours for my sister. When Mr. Irumba left, my sister beat me seriously. I cried again. The man came back. So what was reported to my mom was, this one cried, even neighbors. She called for neighbors' attention. That is highly punishable, you guys. As in, I don't know how I can say it in English, but in Luganda it is Oneyakawa never neighbor never do kid. Oneyakawa never neighbor never do kid. What? My mom was pissed. And then she's like, huh? So me you think that I'm raising mourners, that because if you cry in African setting, it's like you're mourning someone in the house. You're not supposed to cry all the time. No. So if you overcry, they say that it's like you're mourning someone in the house. So my mom is like, do you think I'm training mourners in my home? Do you think I'm raising mourners in my home? Why would you cry like that? Why would you cry to the point that even a neighbor has to come to what? To your rescue? Were you being killed? Were you being slaughtered? Mama never kutuka. That alone earned me more strokes of cane, more than anyone else. People who had refused to do their chores at home got less. But just for crying, I got more than them. Because she beat me and would leave me, punish others, come back to me. Then she would tell me that it's like I'm training to be hired in future for mourners to hire me because I'm good at crying. Because you let me tell you, African parents think crying is all about mourning. That is it. That's why in Africa it is really like this strong thing. You don't cry, you don't what, because crying is related to mourning. So she would say, are you practicing that you should be hired as a professional mourner for crying or something like that? You guys, that crying. And remember, most cases crying in an African home is a sign of guilt. Sometimes I would cry when I'm innocent, but you're punished. Why are you crying? You're mourning someone in the family. Why are you mourning people? But I was under a feeling. Then I was also this quiet. I don't know how to explain this. I am talkative but quiet. So I was this quiet person. I used not to. There are those things, see, mommy said we don't do this at home. I used to be that kind of person, but then I had siblings who would be like, we shall do whatever happens, happens. So most of them used to drag me along with them, because if you grow up in an African home, you know some siblings don't want to be punished alone. If they are doing something that they know a parent refused you to do, they will want you to tag along. So I was this quiet person, always in my space. I didn't want to be disturbed, and so I never disturbed people at all. Never. I don't remember myself disturbing people. But when it came to narrating something, I would narrate everything how it happened. So that's why I told you I was quiet but talkative. This talkative, not talking like I'm talking. When I grew up, I feel I'm so talkative more than I used to be. I don't know what happened. So I would narrate everything. Our dad used to come every Thursday at home, and mom comes, both of them come Friday, then they go on Sunday. Yeah, so once they come, I will narrate everything that happened through the week. That's why most cases when they're punishing us, and people were like, no, me, I didn't do that. That one is lying. They would ask me, Erina, what happened? I said, mommy, that one, auntie told her to wash the plates after eating, and then for her, she just went to play. That is how I was. I would narrate everything. If you did your face like this, then she rolled her eyes on auntie. By the way, rolling eyes in Africa is highly punishable, like punishable. So she rolled her eyes on auntie and then moved away. Hey, go down low and get your portion peacefully. So even one of my reports, I don't know, my dad is a good one at keeping records. He showed me one of my reports in pre-primary. That was in 1999. So some of you are going to calculate my years. Yes, pre-primary. I was in pre-primary, that was 1999. A teacher put, because we used to have story time in class, a teacher put for me a comment that she is a wonderful storyteller. But I don't know where my storytelling skills went when I grew up. But as a child, also me, I knew that about myself. As long as I've seen something with my eyes, I will narrate it the way it was. But growing up, I really don't know what happened. I don't know what I don't know what took away my storytelling skills, in that these days I just jump around, but I used to be so perfect. And then this one sat down, turned the other side, and said, I used to narrate everything. Because every Monday in class, you would narrate what happened at home, yeah, what you experienced in the weekend. As a pre-primary kid, you were expected to do that, and then they would award marks. But always my reports had, she is a wonderful storyteller. At least that I know. Of all the things that a teacher, at least those teachers I appreciate, they used to see a kid for who they are. They gave time to a kid, like personally, not these things of group and all that. So that is, I think that is the best comment I've received from teachers. Of course, I had this very good, excellent, because growing up I used to perform very well in school. But the comment that I still hold on to is that report card of mine. She is a wonderful storyteller. But you guys help me improve my storytelling skills, because I feel I lost them. Uh-huh. I told you I was always weak. My little sister used to bully me. Yeah, because I used to fall sick a lot, and that is one of the reasons as to why I had to start school with my little sister. I started school when I was 6 years. Yes, now you can calculate my years. I started school when I was 6 years, and my sister started when we were 5. But most kids start when they are 4, 3. Yeah, so I was always weak because I used to fall sick a lot. You guys, I do not know what used to happen to me. I used to fall sick a lot, bleed a lot as a child. Then eyes, I used to complain about eyes a lot as a child. And I don't know, but I think these days my immunity is so high. But when I was a little child, guys, I don't know what was wrong with me. Maybe my mom can explain that better. But right now, my immunity is at its peak because I use a lot of herbs. I eat a lot of vegetables. As you can see, my kitchen is full of vegetables. Like, I eat a lot of fresh. And then, uh, any one of you can guess what this is. This is I don't want to say it is illegal, you guys. If I say its name in Uganda, police will look for me. But it is very medicinal. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. If you click, say amen. Yeah, as a grown up, I take a lot of natural herbs. Like, my immunity is at it's high there, like high there. I feel I no longer have those problems I used to have as a child. And mostly, I can't remember that there is, maybe for nose bleeding, I will tell you that story someday. For nose bleeding, um, that was treated. But for these other illnesses that used to make me so weak and vulnerable, I was entirely treated with food. That's why I tell you, eat food as medicine, or else you'll have to eat medicine as food. Because my mom used to feed me a lot, avocados, what, those herbs, bathe me with the herbs, and eat right, yeah, and in the right time, right portions. And I am now very fine. I think I have the best immunity at our home, not boasting. Because of my wonderful storytelling skills, I was a rumor monger. Why? Like I told you, I used to report literally everything. Whether I'm asked or not, I was literally a rumor monger. But in our home, I could not mong rumors outside our home. Why? That is being an international problem. I could only mong them in our home. You don't tell me your secret and I keep it. As a little child, I would literally. But for my brother, I remember I've never betrayed him. I've kept secrets. I don't know why I was loyal to some people. I was loyal to some people and not loyal to other people. I don't know why. But growing up right now, I think I'm the best person you can keep your secrets with. I am I have learned to be faithful to God, to myself, and to people. If someone faithfulness doesn't someone was teaching me recently, thanks to Patricia, she was teaching me recently that faithfulness is not only in terms of money, even in service. If someone trusts you with their secret, they've opened up to you, they do not, it is not an act of faithfulness if you go on telling the entire world what someone told you. You wouldn't be a faithful person. Okay? Yeah, so that rumor mongering bit, I no longer have. Yes, but within our house, my house, we can long rumors seriously, we can backbite each other. We can not really, not necessarily backbiting, but we can talk about each other openly because most criticism, most talks is to bring change and positive change, which is good. I also told you I was a bright kid. I was very bright. Like in my entire primary, I only I used to be number one, number two, number three. Number one, number two, number three. But the two and three always came when I was chased for school fees. That is when people would jubilate. Ha, we're also going to be, yeah, somewhere. And I remember my competitors in primary, such as Peter and Sunny Bennett. Yeah, so but they used to be to chase us for school fees a lot, and somewhere you would find you come back, kids are talking rocket science, things you have not heard, things are coming exam, then you hustle. That's when I started landing in positions like 2 and 3, and then finally P7. By the way, there is, I think P6 I didn't study like 2 terms because of school fees. You guys, they used to chase us a lot. Even P7 I missed some good time without studying. That is it. Then O level, in all my O level, right when I was in a private school, I was always number one. You guys, I have a lot of stories about my my school fees journey. I have a lot of stories about my school life. That is also for another day. They are very long. Imagine I used to forge signatures so that I'm not forced back home for school fees. But I was a bright kid. Even in Lubiri, things when I went to Lubiri in A level, things were quite tough. I was doing physics, chemistry, math, and technical drawing, and I remember things were quite tough. Teachers would say she understands things in class, but when it comes to exams, I took long to pick up. Yeah, I took long to pick up, but I was a very bright kid, and I still believe I'm a very bright girl. I am very, very bright. At least that I know. Yes, if some of you were thinking of complimenting me, thanks be to God, I know I am bright, and it's only by God's grace. It's not that I will tell you I was eating a masogeri nyanja. They used to tell us if you eat eyes of a fish or a head of a fish, you'll be bright. It has it. I will tell you how it works, but I can't entirely credit it to that. It is entirely God. It's not by power, not by might, but by the Spirit of the Lord. And I must tell you, I was very respectful. I would respect elders, my parents. I was a calm person, but these days I don't really feel I'm calm. I don't know what happened. I was a calm person, but I used to feel my legs were bad because they were bracket. If you look my closely to my legs, they are not straight. They are like carved. I used to feel like I have ugly legs. Yeah, like I've told you before, my siblings used to put me under the sun that I should get vitamin D and my legs straighten. But my sister Edna always told me, your legs are for like American models. Where did she even see American models? And she tells me, you do not know American models have such legs. If you're in America, you will die of mad. That's when I go to like my legs. Even right now, I'm so high there. My esteem is high there. You can't tell me anything about my legs. I know who I am and who is I am. From the line of Abraham, like Esther and Haman and Mordecai. Haman is asking for overtime. Hey, I know who I am and whose I am. from the line of Abraham. Like Esther and Haman and Mordecai. Haman is asking for overtime. You guys, I hope you got a glimpse into what my childhood was entirely like. Yeah, that is, I was a very simple girl. Till now, I believe I am a simple girl with a simple style, like with a simple profile. Yes, of course. Who grows up from an economically humble family and you don't have a simple lifestyle? Why? Yeah, thank you so much for watching and see you right in the next video.